The said Captain Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa said that he accepted the above covenant and agreement made as stated above and promised to abide by its provisions. To this, he pledged himself and his property, and both the said Governor and Captain General Gomez Perez Dasmariñas and the said Captain Esteban Rodriguez signed the agreement written secretly by the said Governor before me, the undersigned, Notary Manila, May 12, 1591. Gomez Perez Dasmariñas, Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa, before me, Juan de Cuellar. After Don Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa's death, he was succeeded by his eldest son, Don Eduardo, to one of the royal seats of the Spanish throne. The noble heritage of the Rodriguez clan of Spain became a legacy of succession as members of the royal court of Spain from generation to generation. His death as a Spanish conqueror has lived in the lives of his successors, Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez and Don Miguel A. Rodriguez, who loved and honored his memory, and hence inherited the traits and dignity of the said ancestor, where the blue blood of the Rodriguezes was gallantly given to the Philippine Islands. Cognizant of the heroic achievements and valor of their great-grandfather, Don Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa, Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez, and Don Miguel A. Rodriguez, who were members of the royal court of Queen Isabella II, were appointed to alleviate the economy of the islands and to safeguard and protect the Philippines from foreign invasion. Also, they sought to settle disputes among the warring and discontented natives against the arrogant Spanish rule of the very disciplinarian friars and domineering Spaniards. The royal crown was, at that time, beset with problems in the islands. Economy remained very poor, thus the collection of taxes was nil, and the government was in financial strain. There was always that fear of the return of the Dutch and the British aggression and invasion to snatch the power of Spain in the Philippine colony. Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez, the elder of the two brothers, was a very good internal and international affairs diplomat. Don Miguel Rodriguez was a third soldier in the prime of his manhood, who was an expert in military strategies and martial arts. Like his ancestor, he was daring and brave, but kind of heart. When they arrived in the Philippines, the Spanish revenue was nothing. There were no tax collections to run the government. Even the economy of the mother Spain was ailing due to many threats of wars endangering her colonies like Cuba and Puerto Rico. There was no more revenue coming from Mexico, which got her independence in 1810 after a successful revolt. There was shortage of money in Spain. The Philippine Islands remained undeveloped without financial assistance from the mother country. Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez introduced important changes and systems that led to the economic and social upheavals and improvements in the ways of life of the Filipinos. Wealthy Spanish investors were invited to invest in the Philippine Islands. Vast wildlands were cleared for production. Sugar plantations started to grow. Tobaccos became one of the big sources of revenue. Abaca and copra growth were given as incentives. Cottage industries were introduced. pineapple plantation in Las Piñas became the source of the beautiful piña weave fabrics for Maria Clara's and Spanish elite society. The galleon trade with Mexico, China, and Japan started to flourish again. It was the primeval of the new era in the Philippine Islands. Manufacturing was given incentives utilizing the enormous natural new materials. Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez and Don Miguel A. Rodriguez had cherished the land of their ancestor, Don Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa. They remained in the Philippines and settled down for good with regular visits and vacations to their mother country, Spain. They appointed as administrators or caretakers Doña Maria Isabel Rodriguez Madrigal, also descendant of Don Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa, over big parcel of lands covered by Titulo Propiedad de Terrenos, Royal Decree 01-4 Protocol. She was married to Don Florentino Montañez Acopiado and was blessed with only one son named Don Gregorio Madrigal Acopiado. He was given possession of the big portion of land covered by Titulo Propiedad de Terrenos, Royal Decree 01-4, which was adjudicated to his father and mother, Don Florentino Montañez Acopiado and Doña Maria Isabel Rodriguez Madrigal. On October 14, 1913, Don Hermogenes and Don Miguel Rodriguez sold, transferred, ceded, and bequeathed all their ownership, possession, and property rights by the duly registered land title, the Royal Decree 01-4 Protocol, the Titulo Propiedad de Terrenos of 1891, including all their caretakers and overseers and all improvements therein, by way of the deed of absolute sale to Don Gregorio Madrigal Acopiado and Doña Maria Camelia Sarmiento Madrigal. The ownership of the unified islands, Philippines, was represented by Titulo Posesorio de Terrenos, issued on January 7, 1864, and has been rectified by King Alfonso XIII by virtue of Royal Decree of 1891 known as Titulo Propiedad de Terrenos, Royal Decree 01-4. Court order dated January 19, 1979, LRC Civil Case Number 3957-P, further expound the true meaning of Royal Decree 01-4, to quote, in 1891, King Alfonso XIII ordered the grant of the Spanish title of the vast land in the Philippine Islands, known as the Royal Decree 01-4 Protocol, Titulo de Propiedad de Terrenos of 1891, to Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez and Miguel A. Rodriguez by the then Civil Administration Judge Franco Gomez of Spain as an honorary decree award to the fourth degree, relatives of the king in accordance to the protocol of the Royal Crown. The Royal Decree 01-4 Protocol, Titulo de Propiedad de Terrenos, signed for and in behalf of King Alfonso XIII by the Civil Administration Judge Franco Gomez for and in favor of Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez, covering vast tracts of land in Luzon, including Visayas and Mindanao. This honorary decree was also an identification of Don Hermogenes A. Rodriguez and Miguel A. Rodriguez as fourth degree in the line of descendants of Don Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa, a blood relation of King Philip II, and secondly, Royal Degree 01-4 was an honor and tribute to the distinguished persons who rendered eminence and victory for the Spanish kingdom and King Alfonso XIII.
To elaborate the court's order stated facts, this is how the Título de Propiedad Royal Degree number 01-4 Protocol Año 1826, 1861, 1891, as seen on the face of the title, was interpreted.